I got something a little bit different today. Olight reached out to me. They sent me their Warrior Ultra flashlight that we're going to be checking out today. Now, I'm not like the biggest flashlight person in the world, but I know a lot of you guys like everyday carry stuff, and flashlights are on that list, so let's go over this real quick. My first impressions of this Warrior Ultra, it's a pretty heavy duty, pretty compact mini spotlight essentially. Let's take out the battery. I'll show you that real quick. We got a rechargeable 5,000 milliamp battery in here. Pretty sizable battery. Nice that it's rechargeable. They give you a cable to plug into the back of the light. This comes with a USB cable to charge the flashlight. The end that connects to the flashlight will snap in place magnetically. It'll take about 5 hours to charge this, but considering the size of the battery, I feel like that's pretty reasonable. This also comes with a little pouch. You can snap that into your belt or whatnot. Has a little spot for like a carabiner if you want to throw it on your backpack. I have to say, this pouch that comes with a Warrior Ultra is actually pretty nice. Good quality, does what it needs to do, and it comes with it. Can't complain. Now let's get into the flashlight. My first impression of using this is that it's an absolute mini spotlight. I don't know how well it's going to translate through the cameras. I took this out last night and around my basement when it was pretty much pitch black in here to try and get some footage. But on my camera, I know one of them was struggling pretty hard trying to get the light to pop up. I might have an edited version side by side with the original footage. But if the edited stuff doesn't come out right and you just see one take, then that's just what the camera picked up. So just a heads up, it might be a little bit darker than it is, but I have to say this thing is extremely bright. And I was going around my basement with this thing last night, and I'm telling you, it's a handheld spotlight. Now, this flashlight does have some safety features built in, which you can actually turn off. If we put on the regular mode and we get a little bit close to proximity, it will actually dim down, but you can turn this off. It has a little extra button here, which you can switch between other power modes and whatnot. So if you double tap this with it being in proximity, it'll actually cancel that mode. And now it's as bright as can be at any distance. But as a heads up, this flashlight is bright enough to get hot where I don't know if it's going to actually like cause a fire, but it'll probably get warm enough to the touch to probably burn you. So I would definitely be careful on that. Even just the light itself, but the surrounding area here, this does get pretty warm to the touch after extended periods of time with this on at full power. Now, if you wanted it at lesser power, you could just hold this button down and it'll actually cycle between 3 different modes. So we have the lowest mode here, second intensity, third intensity, and then let's just switch between each one. You just hold this down for a second and it just changes between each different light intensity. This mode right here, using this button, this would probably be more for like indoor, say like you're in your car and you only needed low light intensity for that. If you put on the turbo mode, the max power, it's gonna be blinding in there. And also one more thing to mention about safety on this is this light is so bright. It says in the manual, don't point it in your eyes or whatever. Definitely be careful of that. Now, before we move on to the nighttime footage I have of this flashlight, I just wanted to go over one more setting. We turn this on to the turbo, and then we go to this other button, which we switch the modes with. Tap that 3 times quickly. And we get a strobe mode. So, just one extra little feature built into it. Pretty decent amount of settings you can switch between, but they're all kind of like tied into these button presses. So you might be holding down the rear button, pushing this 1 time, 2 times, holding it down a second or 2. And then that's kind of like your way of navigating between the features on this flashlight. There are a couple others that I didn't go over, but I don't want to drag this video out too long. Let's move into the nighttime footage. Now, as you can see, it's pretty pitch black in my basement. Let's turn this on real quick and just navigate through here really quickly and just see how well it picks up with this camera. Now, one more thing I have to reiterate about this flashlight is that it is pretty much just a handheld spotlight. I can't get over how powerful it is. 2,500 lumens. So it pretty much turns night into day. Alright, let's go outside. I don't know how well this camera's going to pick this up, but it is still bright out here with this flashlight. First person perspective from my end, it's way brighter than this camera's showing, so hopefully I can edit this footage and put it side by side, but if it doesn't come out well, I'll just leave the original footage. I'm going to drop this Know Your Limits target with my Benjamin Kratos 25 caliber. Let's do this just using the flashlight light. It's pretty much pitch black. There's no outside light. We got an overcast sky, so it's pitch black right now. Let me just show you the difference between an on and off, and hopefully this shows up well. That Know Your Limits target was not an issue with just a light provided from this Warrior Ultra. Now that's going to wrap things up with this Warrior Ultra flashlight from Olight. I have to say, for how compact this thing is, it's very powerful. It impresses me. I'm not the biggest flashlight junkie in the world, but I'm curious to see what other people who are really into flashlights, if they grab this. I'd love to hear their opinion on this, because my perspective, I don't have too many, but this thing blows everything else away, and unfortunately I don't have the price right now because I have to hold this off till last minute from even posting it, so maybe as time gets closer to the release date, I would know, but at the moment, I don't have a figure on that for right now, so I'll leave you there. This thing's pretty sweet. See ya.